Yeah. Well, it's great to reconvene with you. I really dug some Prince, so I'm looking forward
Oh,
to
thank
getting
you.
into it. Yeah. So
Cool.
ultimately, I know we hooked up 2 years ago, but now that we're fully out of this pandemic, so to speak, how did you get through that time period, and how much of this album was influenced by living through that?
That's a good question. I mean, how did I get through that period? But it was just like trying to be as productive as possible and sort of keep my head up and work on music a lot. And also, I mean, also just sort of friends, my wife, just everyone was going through it at the same time. So there was definitely a communal aspect of everyone trying to keep each other's heads up. But I was able to get a lot of productivity out of it, and especially in terms of how this album is concerned, um, all of the songs were composed or finished being composed in the initial like maybe 3 or 4 months of the pandemic. Um, in that early stage, none of us had any idea how long that was going to last. So what I remember is, those first few months, March, April, it was like, oh wow, I've got all this free time. This is going to be amazing. I'm just going to like write every day, practice, and then like in a couple of months, life will go back to normal.
Yeah.
So those initial few months were really productive. Uh, and and then a few months after that, once it became clear, no, this is going to last a long time, I was able to start forming this band, this quintet, because a lot of the music that I'd been writing was for this two-horn ensemble. um, so yeah, and then sort of started getting together with these folks to run this music, not with any idea that we'd be playing any gigs, because that didn't seem like that was in the cards, and not even with the idea that we'd record it, but it was just this community of like uh I guess modern jazz musicians, for lack of a better word, in New Orleans, people that compose and have all these projects together. We were getting together, I don't know if I'd say a lot, but as much as we could during that time, to just keep keep playing with other humans, because it was so few and far between, but also to play people's original music, because a lot of people were writing a lot in that initial time. So yeah, this this recording was definitely like born of that time period for sure.
Absolutely. So what are you ultimately hoping the listener gets from this album?
Um, a varied, eclectic listening experience. I feel like it's a pretty wide journey in terms of like song styles and feels. It's not all swinging jazz. It's not all sort of electric fusion. There's kind of a little bit of everything, and I feel like it's representative of my musical taste. Um, and yeah, so I just hope that it keeps people engaged throughout the entirety of the hour of music. Um, and that, yeah, that there's like something for everyone.
Yeah. So what are you doing for live shows? How are you promoting it? If anybody wants to catch you live, how's that all going down?
There'll be a release show in New Orleans in October.
Okay.
And then I'm also doing a show in October in Durham with guys here that will be playing some of that music. But there's not really any tour that's been lined up to promote the album. Everyone, one of the pros of having such a great band on this album is that they're amazing musicians and great interpreters of this music. But on the other hand, everyone is really, really busy, and organizing a tour is hard to begin with, but even harder when all the musicians have such intensely busy playing schedules, touring schedules, teaching schedules. It just gets it gets harder.
Yeah.
So yeah, there'll just be a few shows in terms of live shows playing this music.
So Sun Prince is the album. If anyone wants to pick it up in the proper version or find out about any previous work, anything that's going on in your world, where's the best place to go?
Bandcamp. Yeah, my Bandcamp page, which I think is bandcamp.mattboothmusic.com or mattboothmusic.bandcamp.com, something like that.
Okay.
And that has all of my other, like a complete discography of my other projects. And as for the time being, for the first 2 or 3 months, this album is pretty exclusively available there. We're not, we didn't release it to all the streaming services. So it's really just for this initial release era. It's just on Bandcamp, and it can be downloaded as a digital album or purchased as a CD.
Okay. Matt, it's great to catch back up with you. I can't wait to get it fully exposed on Neon Jazz. So thank you again for joining the show, taking a minute out. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you,
Yeah, you
for
bet.
sure.